Lynn Saxby.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I am number 529, the 529th woman to be sworn into this great Parliament, of only 559 women ever sworn into this place. The statistics, whilst improving, still have a way to go. We are ranked as the 45th country in the world for the proportion of women in Parliament. Only 36% of our councillors are women, and it is against this backdrop that I was delighted this International Women's Day to join, unfortunately by Zoom, a meeting of businesswomen back home at the launch of Women in Business North Devon, many of whom are interested in stepping into public life. The event was organised by the fabulous Roshni Mahajan, Sales and Marketing Director of Aramis Rugby, a British sports manufacturing brand supplying top-flight rugby teams in the UK and abroad. Roshni is just one of the great examples of women in leadership roles we have in North Devon. From our business leaders like Kate Cox, CEO of Bray Leno, one of the largest digital marketing businesses in the UK outside of London, Paula Byers, founder and director of LimeCloud Limited and chair of Digital North Devon, as well as being on multiple steering committees like Tech South West. We have leaders in the social sector like Sue Wallace, Chief Executive of the vital North Devon Against Domestic Abuse, and Rosie Bratcher, a leading lawyer specialising in complex child and family matters, as well as Michaela Willis, who came out of retirement during the first lockdown and set up the National Bereavement Partnership, which has worked tirelessly ever since, providing a support helpline, counselling referral and befriending services for all those suffering from bereavement, grief, living loss, mental health issues and affected by the global COVID-19 pandemic. Plus the amazing Suzanne Tracy, leading the North Devon Healthcare Trust and the Royal Devon and Exeter through a crucial integration of the trusts and investment in our healthcare system. I very much hope, highlighting these women, many of whom will be unknown in their local community, that their achievements may encourage others to step up, undeterred from whatever they may believe is holding them back. And my apologies to the other brilliant women in North Devon that are not in my speech today. As women, we are wired a bit differently. We often think things through so far, we have talked ourselves out of them before we have even considered that we could do them. And in my mind, it is no wonder, as still there are pockets of resistance that we need to tackle, something as fundamental as violence against women and girls. The Honourable Member for Yardley will no doubt jerk tears as she recalls those so tragically taken from this life by men around them. And yet I received this letter from a constituent in a position of authority on the one-year anniversary of the dreadful murder of Sarah Everard about the, in his words, extensive media coverage of the Home Secretary's statement on the government's directive to the police about keeping women and girls safe in public places, and government money being supplied for that purpose. Of course, it is important that women and girls are kept safe, but this programme shows discrimination of the worst kind, in that young men and boys who suffer 3 times the number of murders and over 4 times the number of violent attacks are totally excluded. It has been compared to a campaign to keep white people safe that excludes people of colour, and it has been brought about by well-organised campaigns by feminist extremists who see females as being superior to males, even under the law. I know myself that misogyny is alive and well in North Devon, from the comments thrown or even shouted at me as MP, and have also taken steps to ensure when that has crossed from what might be considered banter to become abuse, that they have seen the full force of the law. And I hope that other women will follow my lead and call out what is simply unacceptable. And I look forward to working with our fabulous Police and Crime Commissioner, Alison Hernandez, as we work towards securing safer streets in North Devon. We all know, as women here, the abuse comes with the territory. And as I explained to the women on the business call this week, thinking about stepping into public life, it is bad on social media as an MP, and somewhat less so as a councillor. But we know as women we are stronger when we work together, and the support we all give to each other here when dealing with these matters. And I hope it never deters more women in North Devon stepping into public life. I may be the first female MP for North Devon, but I very much hope I'm not the last. This International Women's Day is particularly poignant, given the situation in Ukraine with today's horrific scenes, women and children leaving husbands, fathers, sons behind to fight, whilst many Ukrainian women have done so much and even taken up arms themselves. In a week where we have heard the President of Ukraine quote Churchill, walking down Whitehall and seeing the statue remembering the contribution of 7 million women in World War II has taken on a whole new significance, with so many inspiring women on the front line in Ukraine. Slava Ukraini, we all stand with Ukraine. This year's International Women's Day theme is Break the Bias, which their own website describes as working towards a gender-equal world, a world free of bias, stereotypes and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable and inclusive, a world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together we can forge women's equality. Collectively, we can all break the bias. Yeah.